All right, all right. Here we go. Episode 3 on this grand rising Sunday morning. Getting ready to head to church. I'm going to minister at Sunshine Ministry and go share my heart with people and share what God's doing in my life and how things have been going and just kind of share what I'm sharing with you right now. So I've been talking along the lines of changing the way you think. As a man thinks, so is he. And so it's so important that we see ourselves with as champions. Let me say it that way. I don't care what people have said. You may have been called a loser, a dope fiend, a drug addict. I don't care if people have called you an alcoholic, whatever, selfish, a whoremonger. It does not matter. If you're ready for change, then today is your day to change. It really don't matter what people have said. What really matters is, what do you say? How do you see you every day when you wake up? And if you haven't seen yourself in light of victory, in light of change, then it's time to start with your mouth saying something different. And what I mean by that is, as I'm sharing these truths, or as you may have heard these things before, maybe somebody has told you, listen, like I said earlier, I said you can't be, either you're rich or you're poor. Either you're healthy or you're sick. Either you're free or you're bound. Which one is it? There's no in between. In between, let's get in between. Let's get average out of the equation. We're not average. We're not here on this planet to be average. We were all here, put here, really descended from the thought of deity here so that we can be more than average. We can be supernatural. We can create the life that we desire. And it doesn't matter where you were born. It doesn't matter who your parents are. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. None of this matters. History has proven this to be true, that if a person makes a line in the sand and says, enough is enough, I'm going to get what I deserve, I'm going to receive what I desire, and I'm going to live my best life, then there is not any force on this planet that can stop an individual from doing just that. The only person that can stop you is you. And the way that you stop you is by you limiting yourself, by you putting a limit on your mind and saying, I've never made that much money, so I probably will never make that much money. Friend, I hate to be the bearer of truth in this, but that is absolutely right. You will not make more money if that's the way you think. I'm here to tell you, I am looking to make more money than I've ever made my entire life. And when my five senses start tangibly experiencing what I already know to be true inside of me, friend, I will be able to have such a powerful voice in the people's lives because my experience will prove to be true. I am believing right now in this very moment. I wrote it all down on paper last night. I wrote it down. I rehearsed it last night. I rehearsed it this morning. I will rehearse it tonight. I put a card in my pocket so that every time I touch this card, my mind is triggered that I'm making $3,000 every week. You say, is that possible? By all means, all things are possible to him that believes. Why not? And really, when you think about it, it's really not that much. Especially the way the price of everything is inflating and it's going higher. Why not? We just accept that everybody else can raise up the standard. Everybody else can raise up the price, but we can't elevate in our mind to believe and to think different that we can make more money. Why not? See? We live in a day and an age where there are no limitations. There's never been, but even more so now, if I can say it like that. There are so many possibilities. There are so many avenues. And even if you don't fit into any of those, create your own. You have the ability. You are a creator yourself, and you are able to do so much more than what you've imagined yourself doing. You see? And so I have written the plan. I have put it down, and I have burned the bridges behind me. In other words, I'm on this island called abundance, called goals, and I'm going to achieve my goal no matter what. If it takes a year, it will take no longer than a year. It will most likely be less than a year for me to obtain $156,000, making $3,000 every week. I believe it. I believe, therefore I speak. I'm not trying to get myself to believe by what I speak. I have assumed it within. I already know that there are God-given abilities in me. I am persuaded that I can do so much more than what I've done. I've earned so much money already in my life. And so this will be nothing for me to do this. I will accomplish this no matter what comes against me, no matter what tries to stop me, no matter what tries to detract or detour me or do any of that kind of stuff. I'm going to stay on course because I have made up in my mind that enough is enough. I'm tired of living the way I've been living, and I want to see change in my life, and that change started last night, friend. I am going to see what I have dreamed. I am going to see what I have imagined. I am going to see the very things that I've written down come to pass starting now, friend. Starting right now. Not off in the sweet by and by, not when everything lines up for me. Nothing will ever line up for you if you're waiting for outward circumstances to somehow work their way if you haven't changed what's on the inside of you. If you haven't changed what's within you, if you haven't changed your energy, your frequency, your vibration, your mind, your subconscious, your spirit, your soul, if you haven't made a change on the inside, then nothing, my friend, will ever change on the outside. And once you start on this journey of change, friend, do not give up. Do not quit. In fact, when opposition comes at you, be like that young girl whom her mom sent to the farmer and said, "My mama needs 50 cents. And the farmer looked at her like she was crazy. And he told that little girl, "Go on, get out of here now." And she stood there. And I don't know how much time went by. This is a true story. But she stood there and he looked at her. And she said, "My mama needs 50 cents. He says, "You better get up and out of here." And so some more time goes by. And finally he gets frustrated enough. His nephew thought he was going to go whoop her, which he was, because he got a whip, a strap. And he was walking up to her. And you know what this little girl, she had the nerve to do? She took a step forward, right up in his face and said, "My mom needs that 50 cents. And you know what this man, dumbfounded, confounded, just completely overtaken, he reached down in his pocket, he pulled out that 50 cents, he gave it to her and said, "Now go on, give that to your mom now." What did she do? She said, "You know what? I don't care if I've heard no 10,000 times. Thomas Edison failed over 10,000 times before he finally got it. Do you know Henry Ford told his engineers, we're going to make an eight-cylinder motor. He said, you get it right. And I may not be quoting it exactly, but the gist, you know, understand what I'm saying. They said, it's impossible. He said, I don't care if it's impossible. He said, I want you to work on this. I don't care how long it takes. 6 months went by. He went and checked on it. They said, it's impossible. It cannot happen. Another 6 months go by. Wouldn't you know, before 2 years hit, this man's imagination, his tenacity, his persistence, his not shrinking back, but pressing on and pushing forward, knowing that what he saw he could have, knowing that what he had in his mind, it was maybe impossible to his engineers, but it was not impossible for him. And guess what, my friend? He succeeded in the very thing that he said could be done. And so I don't care what it looks like in the natural. If you'll start on the inside of you, in the unseen part, the conscience, which sends the message down to the subconscious and shatters the paradigms in your life, shatters and breaks down all the limitations that you possess. You see, Scripture says it like this: the washing of the water of the Word. Do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but rather be transformed by the entire renewing of the mind. See, now I'm pumped up. Now you got me preaching up in here. I'm over here sharing my heart, my story, where I'm at in life, in hopes that somehow, some way, it'll click the thing will click in your mind and you'll say, you know what? Enough is enough. I can do all things through the Christ consciousness that strengthens me. I can do all things. Nothing is impossible for him that believes. You see? And so I just want to let you know that if you haven't started already, don't let another day go by, because if you let another day go by, another day will go by, and another day will go by, and another week will go by, and another month will go by, and another year will go by, and before you know it, the start of the new year, you'll be saying, man, ain't nothing changed in my life whatsoever. It's been this way for 20 plus years. And I'm here to tell you, it don't have to be the same. You can start not outwardly, but inwardly. Everything that you are inside is what is projected outside. The outside is a mirror image of what you have inside. See? It's not that some people have the magic and some people don't. It's some people know what they have inside and others don't. And others only complain about what they don't have instead of realizing that they are complete, that they lack nothing. If you lack anything, it's only the understanding of what I'm trying to share with you right now, that you, my friend, are a champion. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. The me I see is the me that I'll be. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Greater is he who is in me than he who is in this world. The angel to the church said, you say you are poor, but you are rich. See, you are rich. Quit saying you're broke, busted, and disgusted. If you see yourself that way, you're always going to be that way. Start seeing yourself in abundance. Start seeing yourself made in the image and the likeness of God. Start seeing yourself as from above and not beneath. Start seeing yourself that whatever you put your hand to, it shall prosper. Start seeing yourself that greater is he who is in you, that you can do all things, that whatever you do will be blessed in the city and in the field. It doesn't matter. You are a champion. You are victorious. You are the head and not the tail, from above and not beneath. You see? And so all things are possible, not just some things, all things. And so my assumption that what I make, I believe it already, that I already am making that money. I'm already making that amount of money. I believe it. I have wrote down. I have burned the bridges. I have said, this is time. This is the time. Today is the day of salvation. Now is the acceptable time of the Lord. My body is healed. I am free from any leukemia, from any disease. My body is whole. My body is energized with life in it. In Jesus' mighty name. And so I just want to bless you with that. My time's up. That's 3 sermonettes for you right there. 45 minutes worth of messages. I hope you listen to all 3 of these today. And God bless you. Until next time, I've got to get ready to go preach at a church. Have a good day.